Today we're taking a look at how we're going to be saving money on chicken feed this summer. There are a lot of different ways to reduce your chicken feed costs by supplementing with other types of food, and that can be grasshoppers that you catch from your garden, which I like to do, and food scraps is another really popular way to offset some of your feed costs. Right now we have an abundance of eggs, and with eggs you can preserve them so you can have them for a rainy day, so to speak. Or what we're doing right now is, because we have so many eggs, is we're cooking extra eggs in the morning, eating the whites, and giving a lot of the yolks back to the chickens to give them a lot of the protein and nutrition they need. And in fact, Justin Rhodes from AbundantPermaculture.com has a video on his YouTube channel how he feeds his chickens for $1.29 a day, and he had 30 chickens at the time when he filmed that. That's a really good resource to... Oh gosh. Get out of there. You know I can't have that clanking going on in the background when I'm filming, right?
Right.
So that's a really good resource if you're looking for different alternative feeds for your chickens, but we have a little bit more of a conventional approach to how we're saving on our feed costs today. And my friend Emmett has come over from Goatberry Farms to deliver some bulk chicken feed for us today.
That's right.
Emmett reached out to me because he wanted to buy a bunch of chicken feed for his chickens. If you buy in bulk, you save money.
You do.
But you gotta buy a lot of chicken feed for it to really work. And in our circumstances, something we looked into a while back, we were looking to go big with it, but we didn't have the means to store. I think the minimum order is like a ton.
Yes.
At a time. We didn't have the means to store a ton of chicken feed. But when you break the order up amongst other people, that the amount you have to store reduces a lot and becomes more manageable.
That's right.
But you still get the cost savings.
You get the cost savings.
So we're paying around $30 a bag retail for 40 pounds of chicken feed. Our costs are higher than a lot of people because we're using certified organic chicken feed, which is important to us. But even beyond that, we're using a no corn, no soy feed, which is also really important to us. So we are paying a little bit more than most people would for the chicken feed. And we were looking for ways where we can reduce that because our flock has grown. We just got our broiler chickens and we need to feed 50 other birds too, in addition to our layers, and it is crazy the cost of it. So again, we're at $30 a bag for retail feed. What are we looking at with our costs doing it in bulk at a ton, right?
So you're running somewhere around $22, $23 for a 40-pound bag, which significantly cuts that cost.
Right. So there are a couple different options. I didn't know about this, and initially I thought we had to get like a huge tote, like, you know, a 1,000-pound bag or 2,000-pound bag or something like that. But behind us here, we have a whole pallet of bagged chicken feed, so it's still... I don't have a tractor, so this was another thing I thought was a limiting factor. I wouldn't be able to unload a ton of feed at a time, but given that it's still in bags, we can just manually unload it, and then we can talk about how we're going to store it in a minute. But really anyone can do this as long as they have the means to store it. If they know people that are also looking for feed, so you're not trying to store so much at once. So we're splitting this 3 ways?
3 ways.
And right here is also party number 3 to our transaction and splitting the feed.
Yeah, it was kind of a big deal because we had, you know, we had that opportunity to either get these big bulk bags, which was attractive at first because the cost looks a little bit lower, but on a pallet they can fit more bags of feed than they can just the one tote on a pallet. So the per pallet shipping cost ended up being lower, loading it up with all the bags. And you know, we were looking at doing grain bins, trying to figure out how we were going to do it on our farm. And it turns out that the bags are the best option, and the cool thing is they're paper bags, so they can be recycled.
Right. So we have these 55-gallon steel drums here. They have a food grade interior lining on them, which is good for dry feed. It's not something I recommend you use for scalding a hog, but it's great for dry feed where there's not going to be any heat applied to this. And I have found that I can store about 350 pounds of grain in this. I expect to get several bags of chicken feed per drum. still have some leftover wheat from last year in there, but we can just put this lid on here. Okay, I was looking for the latch for it, but this one doesn't have it. This one does though. I have these clamps and this just tightens down and locks the lid on the barrel so it keeps the rodents out. So that's what we're doing for our feed storage. What are you guys doing on Goatberry Farms?
We're doing a really similar thing. We have just 55-gallon barrels, and I think I got about 400 pounds of bagged feed in there.
Okay.
I had to shake it and roll it, and it really worked. But yeah, I mean, we went through all the options. We were looking at silos versus barrels versus leaving it in the bags, and the barrels were the most economical and the most versatile solution, really.
Right. And these you can get, just look up on Craigslist. That's how I found these. There's a huge retailer not terribly far from here that just imports them from all over the place. They have plastic ones, food grade ones, ones for water storage. I mean, you name it. There's barrels, reused single purpose barrels everywhere there. And I think they run like $15 a piece, something like that, with the lid and the clamp on it. For what it is, the fact that it will last decades as long as you store it properly, and that it's going to keep your feed dry and rodent free. Right. Yeah, it's a pretty good way to go.
Yeah, priceless. You know, for as much as we spend on feed, making sure that we have good organic, corn-free, soy-free, whole grain, you might as well store it and protect that grain.
While we're bringing in these sacks of chicken feed, we'll take a quick chicken intermission and we'll check right back. Emmett, awesome, man. Thank you so much for helping me stack this pile and stepping up and taking care of the distribution role for managing our little co-op thing we got going here.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so while we got you here, can you quickly tell us about what is Goatberry Farms? What's going on there?
Sure. Well, Goatberry Farms is our family farm, and we're focused on feeding ourselves properly, and that is organically through permaculture and organic practices. And we've only been on our homestead for about a year, so we're still growing. We're learning, and that's what all this is, networking, meeting people that are like-minded, and that's really what we want out of this, to gain from the
collective knowledge
of the
community, yeah.
And also to share things that we learn along the way.
Right. So you are documenting this journey on YouTube, right?
I am.
so where can people go to learn more about your channel and what's going on in Goatberry Farms?
Yeah, they can go to the link, Goatberry Farms. It's just goat space berry space farms on YouTube, and we're still working on bringing our website up, so that will be there eventually too.
Right, so if you're into goats, head on over to Goatberry Farms, because you get a bunch of goats with a bunch of cute little kids, and you do cool things with your goats, like put packs on them and go into the mountains and neat stuff like that. So definitely go check out their channel.
Do it.
Not only do you get really good chicken feed from Scratch-n-Peck, they send you some really cool gear too. Thanks, Emmett. I guess I should put this on, right?
There you go. Yeah, you should be wearing it. Yeah.
There we go. Scratch-n-Peck.